Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. This is Otaku Showboat. I'm just making sure that my audio is fine. I think it is, anyway. Let's see, today is June 6th, Thursday, June 6th, 2019. And today is more Pyanodon's playthrough. Oh boy. So I was just thinking before the stream, I was reflecting on how it's June time, which means we're approaching the time locally where the high school students will be graduating. And it just got me to thinking, you know what? I graduated in 2009. So this is actually my 10-year anniversary of graduating high school this year. So I was like, wow, it's already been 10 years. And then that got me down thinking about down the rabbit hole of how I graduated valedictorian from my high school and how I chose not to give a speech at the graduation, mostly in part. There were two reasons why I chose not to give a speech. The first one was I thought that the administration of what I had been writing for my speech was trying to change the message, which I didn't like. And the second reason was the valedictorian and salutatorian did not have a guaranteed spot for giving a speech, which was absurd to me. They essentially had it set up as a competition between the top 5 students in the class, and each one had the opportunity to write a speech, and the administration would pick the 2 that they thought were the, quote, best to give the speech at the graduation ceremonies. And, that, combined with them trying to change my message, despite the fact that they intended the competition to get the valedictorian and salutatorian to write better speeches, and that they would generally always be the ones to give the speeches anyway, because of that, I couldn't support that because I am not a competitive person. So yeah, that was the deal here. In fact, other people thought I was a competitive person, particularly my English teacher, who happened to be the person who was sort of reviewing my speech at the time. They thought I was competitive, and I had to tell them, no, I'm not competitive at all. I didn't get to this top spot because I was trying to compete against everyone else to be at the top spot. I didn't want to be there for the sake of being there. I was there because I was pushing myself. It was my own self-motivation to do the best that I could, and I just so happened to be at the top because of that. Anyway, just doing a couple of updates. I don't need to do those AI updates, but anyway, just because I'm talking here at the start. So yeah, it got me thinking about that whole rabbit hole. But gosh, that was 2009 when all that was going down. And then it got to me thinking, it's like, do I even really remember my time in my undergrad all that well? Not really. No, actually. Probably because I spent basically the whole time in my room playing video games. That would probably do it. It was uneventful. Anyway, today is more of the Pyanodon's playthrough. Now, I do want to say right off the bat, want to apologize for the end of the previous stream of this, because I was starting to get a bit testy towards the end when someone was coming into the chat and basically offering the reasonable advice that getting coal gas, or basically doing similar stuff to what I'm doing now over here, getting the coal gas is more efficient when using oil products than with tar. Now I was getting a little bit peeved because that day my abdominal region was feeling incredibly weak, let's say, after having to take a couple of breaks during the stream, and my focus wasn't on oil. I know that oil is going to be its own separate can of worms when dealing with all of that, and I was like, I'm doing this to get glass. That was the point, ostensibly, is I'm doing this so that I can get glass. Now, I didn't really clearly describe the issue here. So, first off, I don't have the techs to do the more efficient oil to coal gas recipes. In fact, if I go into oil processing, I think it's that syngas. Where is... I don't even know what tech it is. Let's look this up. So if I go coal gas, it would be this recipe. That is, I believe, the one that's being referred to in the more efficient recipe. Or possibly this one as well, this machines for oil. So this recipe. Now, I apparently do have this recipe, but I can't get heavy oil yet. That's the main thing. And it also requires zinc chloride, so I can't get heavy oil. Why can I not get heavy oil? Maybe I could make oleochemicals, but... I'd have to get sulfuric acid to do that, but so, no. No, and, yeah, again, with the oleochemicals, comes from lard, comes from Releasy and Fagway, so technically I could do this, but I'm at the point where, as the stream sort of dies on me, I am at the point where I'm not adding new things right now. I am improving my resource production. Now, if we go back to oil processing to get heavy oil, I don't have that tech yet. I don't have that tech yet. And in order to even do the coal gas here, I would also need, so not only would I need to do a heavy oil, like an oil refining setup to get the heavy oil for this, I would also need zinc chloride, an entire zinc chloride setup. Now, I am doing some electrolysis that gives me chlorine, so I could get to hydrogen chloride fairly simply. But I would also need to start mining and processing zinc plates, which I am not currently doing. And again, goes into that issue of that requires adding to what I have with something new, which at this point in time, I am not interested in adding new. I am interested in improving what I have, not adding new. So, back to the argument here. I need science. My science is limited by glass. My improved glass setup requires coal gas to feed the machines to give me the glass, to get the science, to get to oil refining, to get the better process, or to get the heavy oil for the process that would give me coal gas more efficiently. Boy, that was a lot to say. So, today's focus will be to improve the tin production. And then following that, it will be the aluminium, I suppose. I forget exactly, or completely, I should say. I forget completely what I said I was going to do today in the last video. I just... It's gone. It is gone from my mind. And I don't particularly care, because this is what we're going to be doing. First off, I'm hooking up this glass that I am now going to be using. No. And I will be removing the, quote, downstream from the bus. I will be removing that glass setup fully. Because glass is very limiting overall at the moment. This will vastly improve it. Now, I will note that I will need more tar to get even more coal gas, because I need an excess amount of coal gas to keep my the various other processes running that I need creosote for. And you may be wondering, well, what do you mean about creosote? Well, I'm using, like, all of my tar at the moment. And I need excess tar for the creosote for the aromatics. So my aromatics are limited right now. So I want to have enough, like, more than enough tar to make more than enough coal gas. The coal gas is backed up so that I don't have to worry about my aromatics production. In the alternative, I could do something else for aromatics. I could do it out of bioprocessing stuffs and things. Oh, and I should also mention that the issue with having access to, I think it was the sand extractors too, like the Mark II sand extractor, when I didn't even have the Mark I yet. Yeah, I think it was this situation where the tech for Sand Extractor 1 was not a dependency of the tech that gives Sand Extractor 2. Since I know Pyanodon actually watches these streams, these videos, that change was made, like, pretty instantly. Like, it was an incredibly fast response time. That's how I should put that. I guess I'll just do this. Is this too big of a gap? Yes. Unfortunately, but what is this too big of a gap? No, it isn't. Good. Excellent. And I guess I'll just, like, terminate this here. So that was good. I like seeing that. Quick updates that are necessary. Because, yeah, that was an issue that needed to be solved. You shouldn't get access to the T2 or the Mark II equipment before you even get the Mark I. And who knows, over the course of this, I might find other instances where that happens, but, you know what, let's kill these to remove the influx of this, quartz. Break these machines down. They are no longer required. Really? Really, really, really? Wait. I have a redundant line as well? Did I actually think ahead? Oh, that's empty. As is that. So, part of improving my tin plate production today is going to be more tin ore production. So that's going to be a thing. Let's see, what can I... Huh, I guess I don't need to be holding on to this much ash. Alright, a little bit of space saved there. So, tin! Let's review tin and see... Let's review tin to see the various processes that I can do. Let's put away some of this stuff that I probably don't need at the moment. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so let's do tin plates. What recipes do I have access to that are more efficient currently? And then the other question is, do I have access to the tin ore processing to tech? I can get it, and then the other thing to look at is, and I think I have this bookmarked somewhere. Please tell me I have this bookmarked. I do not. That's sad. Alright, forums for Factorio. I am looking up the efficiencies. There is a topic in the Pyanodons section of the mods forum in the Factorio forums. The thread is Pyro, or Pyrot Wars, chains analysis. It is updated as of April 30th, 2019, and includes the hot air stuff with it. So I am technically at green science. Wow, going to green iron casting is a 150%? Is a triple, straight up triple efficiency boost over what I'm doing now, I think. Wow. That would be something to do if I needed that much more iron plates. But anyway, I'm looking for 10 and 10 at green science. The most efficient, it appears, is a hot air process with green science. So it's somehow a hot air process that is the best on tin. So let me look at this description here. Anyway, so if I look at this, unless it's changed since April 30th, which there is a good chance that that is so. Does this unlock any hot air processes? This one. So this would be the recipe. I will assume that this would be in a automated foundry, maybe. Grade 4 tin plus hot air. 4 grade 4 tin and hot air. I'm going to just throw it out there that that is probably the most efficient process that I can do because of the hot air, and that it is more efficient than casting the tin at this point in the game. Again, unless it's changed since April 30th. So, grade 4 tin. It looks like even when I eventually go to the molten casting processes, I'm still going to need to get to grade 4 tin. So I think either way, I have to get the grade 4 tin set up. And this looks like it would need jaw crushers, maybe, at minimum. Huh. And this gives something called a tin ore reject that can be converted into a grade 1 tin at 50% chance. And then you go... Well, that's an input of 2 grade 1 to get a grade 3. So you go from 1 to 3 plus rejects, and the rejects go back to 1 to go back into this system to get to 3. You do 3 into 4 by adding water in a 1-to-1, and it gives you tailings. Okay, so we're creating basically tailings out of water there. That gives you grade 4, and that gives you, if you're going to the molten, that gives you dust, and from dust, borax and graphite into molten. I'm actually making some graphite. I'd have to run it back on the bus. And then sand castings to give you plates. But what I would be doing is I would be directly smelting the grade 4 with hot air. That's the process. But as I said before, I need that tech. So, once automobilism finishes, that will be the next tech, is the tin ore processing. Granted, my science, I think, is currently limited to the amount of tin that I'm producing. If I'm not completely mistaken, I believe right now it is limited by my tin? No, there's enough production of the tin for that. Oh yeah, I automated you. And you're just limited by the number of circuits coming in. Interesting. So what is limiting here? This isn't moving, so it's not getting something. Oh, it's limited by the speed of this thing, I guess. Which isn't getting these, which isn't getting enough bone meal. Why is the bone meal not moving? Ah, performance. Stop. What's wrong? You are getting enough Relesia. I guess it's just not enough of those buildings. It's not enough of those buildings, huh? Well, I have a solution to that. Did I not have in this chest I put down somewhere? Where's that chest I just put down? Like, seriously? I just put down a chest. Where is it? Hello? That one? Like, I'm pretty sure I just put down a chest. Yeah. By the way, I got automobilism. Or automobilism, as I like to call it. So let's grab some engine units and make an automobile. The automobile. Welcome to the party, car. Thanks for coming out, car. Oh, I don't have vehicle snap, do I? Ah. No, it's just off. That would help if it were on. Okay, this makes things so much easier. so very much easier now that I have the car and faster. Oh god, performance. Performance! There's probably something about one of these types of machines that is incredibly resource intensive. I don't know what it would be. But, I seem to have had UPS issues in general in Pyanodon's mods. Actually, I think it's something to do with the soil extractor. Because every hiccup I have seems to be when it loads a soil extractor on the screen. Or offloads it off the screen. But I don't know. Now, see, there's a extractor there, and I can see there's a bit of a hitch when I get far enough away that I think it is a culling thing, maybe. And then, oh, when I'm on it, too, the game is hiccuping when I'm near these soil extractors, when I'm looking at them. It seems to be fine. Or at least it's better out here. No, there's still a hiccup. I'm trying to troubleshoot this as best I can. But yeah, there's hiccups, and I don't know what exactly is leading to those hiccups. Anyway, enough of that. Oh, I only have one of you. How about I go pick up more? Time to kill more animals. Hey. Oh, right. I'm not making any... I don't think I have. No, I didn't. I chose not to run nanobots in this particular playthrough, didn't I? I'm pretty sure that I made that decision. And I think you can see just how often I, you know, do things manually. Oh, right, so you have to be outside. You can't do it inside the vehicle, which is dumb and stupid. Straight up. It's just stupid. Why can you not repair when inside a vehicle? That's unnecessary. Really? Let's play the how many things am I going to damage and destroy game. Because I know I'm going to do it a lot. Ah, speaking of which, there's the tech that I need. Huh, and speaking of which, the techs should be a little bit faster. Do I even need steel furnaces for, like, anything in existence? Probably not. Now what am I... Now, after I do tin, I will probably be thinking of aluminium. I need this, though. No, I need the coal processing too, and I think I picked that up already. More inventory. I'm gonna take that detour and get the actual utility mod. Not mod, but, bleh. The bleh! The bleh bleh bleh! The utility tech. Then I want to automate the, medium poles. Did I not get the tech for the poles yet? No, because apparently because the poles need creosote. Anyways, hiccups. Maybe it's these guys. Maybe these guys are causing hiccups. What am I doing? It's here, 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 and here. Okay, more. More is more of these. Because these seem to be what's currently limiting. Now, I have 5 of these. Needs 1.11 per second, and I've got 2 of these, so that means I need at least a third or a fourth on the Relesia. Ah, boy. Circuits, wood. Circuits, soil, treated wood, and glass. Oh boy. So, thankfully I have glass. Now I should also have a big buffer of circuits. Car is so convenient. Ooh, that was close. Then I need treated wood. I think it's down here. It's you. Ah, you're limited by creosote. Limited by all the things. Relesia. And then soil. Right. Nearest soil extractor. Nearest soil extractor is there. Hey there, give me soil. Then give me Relesia. boy, so let's get this plopped down. Hydrogen in. Ah, good. More. More is more. Let's pick up the oil processing. No, the aluminium. Only have the one. Needs additional outputs. Oh, it looks like this one was not even really getting fed to begin with. At least not much, anyway. $7.2 per second. 3 of these is 4.09, so this should be fine. Just the way it is. Alright. These guys should all be making their stuffs. Beautiful bones. And this is moving. Good. Everything should be in motion. What actually used the bones again? I don't even know what used the bones. Bones? Follow the line. Here. You use the bones. You feed that, feed that. Okay, good to know. So yeah, that was the primary limiter here. Next, the tin will be the limiter with making of these. So tin will be the next bottleneck in the green science production. Now that we have this new tin recipe, I'm still laughing that I have access to that sulfur. I'm laughing even more that I have access to all of this tar up there. Speaking of which, tar extractors. Tar extractors. I need to grab my chromium. Which... Ahem. Tar extractors. Iron... Iron and then steel. far away is my steel? There it is. Hey, iron and steel that I'm picking up. Give me all the things. Then it's circuit. Well, it's small parts next, which now we're down here. I'm at my buffers, so small parts. And I'm guessing circuits. No, it still wants more on the copper. And again, more on the iron. I have no idea how many I'm making, I'm just making. It's like, I'm just making. Also, do I have any radars on me? No, so let's get one of those. Couple of those. Dang it. Oh, exploring the world and getting to my outposts is going to be so much easier now that I have car. I am going down here because I want to precisely calculate what the output is here. Okay, what is wrong with this machine? Oh, did I make... I made a boo-boo. I done goofed! Alright, so the thingy here is just going to say 10 per second, so what I'm gonna have to do is pull up a calculator. 25.7 on that machine, plus 20.7 plus 24 plus 24, you 17.7. So just make sure I have two 24s, yes. Plus 13.1. That's 125.2 out of these machines. Going down with time. And there's no, like, efficiency on this to give extra, so let's bear that in mind. Let's head on over to the creosote slash the coal gas area. So many rocks, so many rocks. Alright, so 3 of these need 250 per second. So, I have half as much from those extractors as what I need. Fortunately, the throughput in here is not particularly a concern. Okay. The tar is here. And there is a lot of it. There is also tar a bit closer here. Right here. But my concern is the amount per second. The amount per second is my concern. So if I go over here, now that I've made, like, everything. How many? 13. Alright. That gives, it says 4.6. That's really low. 3.3, 4.2, and 5.9. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to mine from those. Instead, well, it looks like we're running into some problems here. Am I mining any other coal as backup? I don't think so. I don't think I am, so I will have to go tap some new coal. And if I'm going to tap a coal, I want to tap a dense one. Oh look, more tar. Have I found any, like, really dense coal? I don't think so. I would actually prefer finding, like, a coal that's, like, 50, 60 G billion units, but I don't think that's gonna happen anywhere even remotely close by. But this is sad, seeing all this starting to give way all at the same time. Wait, are you slowed? No. You're just slow machines, that's what you are. But it seems I still have at least some semblance of time on this. Anyhoozle. I'm going to have to run so many pipes for this. Pick up the various petrochemical stuff along the way, I guess. Weaving my way to get to where I'm making my pipes. I suppose I should define myself as only actually driving on this side. I should only drive on this side. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop limiting you. And I'm gonna pick up more underground, not underground, I'm gonna pick up more more blaze, poles. Am I not? I should be automating these things. Yes, both of these things should be being automated. Yes, absolutely. I am glad that they are being automated. It's like, ooh, forethought. Gotta love it. Gotta love it when you have some forethought and are automating some things. Should be automating more things than I currently am, but oh well. Enough of that. Let's see, what, so I'm gonna go to a hopefully better coal patch. Stop hitting the same rocks. Stop hitting rocks! Off we go. I have to wonder if 425 pipe to grounds is even enough. Rock. Oh joy, even more to worry about. My throughput's still fine. Basic electronics, go. Ah yes, that's sulfur, alright. Let's just hit every rock on the way. Oil? $25, $23, $21, $11. And here's the big tar. 24, 28, 31, 37, 36, 30, 31, 15, 24, 23, 31. So plenty above 30 per second. And then this one's a whole 3.6. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. So 27.5 per second. So there is a 1-to-1 correlation on yield percentage to, well, I guess it's 10. It's a factor of 10. So I'm going to focus on every one of these that's above 30. That one's not above 30. Four more. That's a 24, that's a 24.9, that's 23, so the solution is U. And oh, I've got apparently enough to cover like everything. Wow, that is highly convenient. I made exactly as many as there are nodes. Well then. Convenience. Doink. Ba-ba. Ba. Hello, tech. Rare earth tech. Oh, boys. Rare earth. Yet another thing I have absolute crap tons of. Time to break more rocks. Remember what I said about this being a tin day? Here I am, vastly increasing the amount of something completely different. I have to pick a side now. Actually, let's do this way. Yeah, this is not going to be particularly pretty. Yeah, because there's just no real point to undergrounds there. Then everything needs power. Make sure I actually get, like, some redundancy as well in this system. Oh, and then up. Right. Don't want to only connect one patch of this. Now, by my calculations, everything is connected via pipe and power. So the next things that I need to do is run power and then run pipe. Now, running power is a much shorter jump. Oh, yeah, that's just oil. Never mind. Excuse me, but mine the freaking rocks. Stupid rocks in my way. Die. 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 How interesting that this also offsets one tile. Oh boy. Alright. Repair. Oh boy, the stream went down. That's sad. I hate that when that happens. Reconnecting. It has reconnected. It has reconnected. I apparently have one item in my Steam inventory. What is Steam giving me today? What have you decided you want to give me? What bullcrap have you decided to give me today? A coupon for 20% off Cooking Simulator. That's what I have today. I won't ever use it. It wasn't too long ago that I got 2 coupons, actually. I got a coupon for 50% off Frostpunk for Banished owners, and simultaneously I got a 66% off Banished for Frostpunk owners. You know, because I sort of own both of them. So they decided to give me coupons for both of them, even though I own both of them. Gee, thanks, Steam. Thank you so much, Steam. So then the question is, let's see, how am I going to, like, run this? Like, what line shall I draw? Well, I may as well just go down from here as far as I can and somehow connect it to the tar line. Hello, tech. Semiconductor doping. Gee, I wonder if I have enough pipe to ground. But I wonder how many rocks are in my way. Slash trees are in my way. There's a rock. Ah! Back up. I think I have enough pipe to ground. Rocks! Stupid rocks. Always in the way. Maybe that's telling me I should, think about how I'm getting this to the bus now. So what I'm gonna do is divert. Keep running into all of the rocks on the planet. I'm going to get out of the car, repair the car, and walk over to the bus where I have my tar. And figure out how in the effing F. Okay, so it looks like I have tar going this way. Ah, yes, for this column. That I don't really need, I'm thinking about it. what it does do is it gives me a nice clean shot. Yeah, so I'm going to destroy this. Well, remove it. Because it's simply not needed. Oh, treated wood? Yes, treated wood. I want it now! And what this does for me is it gives me a nice little path I can draw. I mean, yes, I'm going over this titanium, but, part of this whole process that I'm doing over the next many, many days and hours is, if you hadn't noticed by now, outposting! Establishing outposts, doing the important things that I need to be doing, getting away from the starting area. I went way too far. I am pulling away from the starting area to longer term outposts. I won't say that they're permanent outposts, because there's nothing really permanent here, but they are longer term. Did I ever add those extra 4? I think so. And I am backed up on rocks. So I have a machine making tar from rocks. What I can do with that, speaking of tar, by the way, it appears as if I have a lot more sufficient amounts. Where is my vehicle? My vehicle is up here. Let's take the vehicle. Give me those rather important poles. I'm assuming that my storage is full on the bricks, stone bricks. So what I can do is just make a great big thing and start, you know, start painting via car now. Painting by cars. Just as long as there's no rocks in the way. So, up over here somewhere, I have a machine that's doing stone to tar. A destructive distillation column doing stone to tar to feed into rich clay. What I want to do is I want to take this tar and I want to output it to my tar line. Because while I clearly, very clearly, have enough... So as I was saying, even though I have enough at the moment. Alright, so what's... I apparently have to bring the tar up. Or even, how far back do I need to go to grab my tar? Apparently... there. Alright. So what line is it? Tar is number 3, right next to the... right next to this boric acid. Okay. So it's directly next to the boric acid. Now, why is this important? This will allow me to have even more demand on stone so I don't back up on it quite so easily. I would hope that it would be preferred in its consumption of this tar, because I am officially making more tar than I am using. I think. I hope that I'm making more tar than I'm using now. Which should solve all issues. This should be... Why are you not running? It's because it's full of coal gas. That is excellent. I am backed up on my coal gas, which is exactly what I wanted. So now I am able to keep on producing glass. Now it looks like I may have miscalculated. I'm not getting as much pure sand as I was expecting out of this, and it's a limitation on the actual sand? You're telling me that this line producing sand is not enough? Is it a water limit? Am I running into not enough water to run these? Yeah, I'm thinking it's the inserters are not moving quick enough to get soil into the sand machines. Well, fortunately, I can go take care of that. I've got plenty of inserters to move the soil into those machines. It's not exactly to ratio on the soil to sand, but it has to be an inserter problem, because I think one of those sand washers uses up more than 2. Wait, what? I'm left clicking. There. Heal. Anyway, all will be solved by going out there. Oddly enough, this will also have the effect of increasing my demand for coal gas. Which I'm currently backed up on. So I know I have enough coal gas for at least what I'm doing right now, producing on the glass. This is significantly more glass than what I was making, at the very least. Oh, and then I also needed more of these. Yeah, sure, get that. think I calculated it's, I think I needed like 6 of these or something like that. Something crazy high. If I can even... Nah, I'm not carrying around enough stuffs to make more of those. But, yeah, it's... needs 7.5, and 2 makes 7.2, so these should be empty. Aha! Water. So, but, yeah, it's... I vastly underestimated how much, water I needed. So it's a water issue, not necessarily an inserter issue. I'm going to make sure that it's not an inserter issue by adding additional inserters, but this is actually going to require more than one, likely even more than 2 lines of water, I think. Because at the moment I have 1 line of water feeding all of this, which, yeah, the water sort of stops at some point. You only get 1,200 units of water per second, and this is consuming a lot more than that. Now, I currently do not have access. I can't make more. I can make more of those, but I don't have nearly enough underground pipes, so I will go back to get more underground pipes. Or I can put off doing any of that and just say, okay, I know I'm backing up on glass right now, so it's potential extra glass without needing to do a ton of extra work. At least I'm pretty sure I'm backing up on the glass. Maybe? Maybe not. Let's find out. Together. Do I still need more glass before I go start thinking about tin? That looks like it's backing up to me. It looks like I have a sufficient amount for everything that I'm currently making, so yeah. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Let's not worry about it. Oh wow. Still too much flue gas? Even with 3 of these? It's 130... Oh. Yeah, I guess that is still too much flue gas. Stupid stone bricks. Why? Why? So many stone bricks. Good thing I have like 70k plus of them. Nah, it's more like 46 or 44k, but whatever. Give me more gas vents. Let's take care of this little niggling issue. Hello, tech. Oh my god, I have LTN in this save. I have never even used it. I have it. I haven't used it at all. Partly because I just rarely ever actually use trains. Regular pipes. back in the car. Time to pick up some mining drills. And probably some assembling machines. We shall see. Because I am transitioning to the whole point of today, which is the tin. The tin is the point of the day today, and I've now spent half the stream not doing tin. Congratulations. So many distractions. Yeah, I'd probably just want one stack of those. Yeah, so that's 91. That's enough for 3 yellow belts worth of output. Yeah, there's always so much to do. So much to do, so little time. And I am not focusing on adding specifically new things right now. All of this is, like, everything I've been doing today hasn't specifically been adding anything new so much as expanding things we were already doing. So I spent a fair bit of time, you know, getting tar, tapping all of this for more tar for this coal gas, which I do know, yes, technically the oil is better. I will transition to the oil, but I'm not. At the time when I set this up, I didn't have the tech to do the oil in the first place, and it requires doing new processes. I would have to make heavy oil, like do oil refining, so that is a new setup that I would have to add to my bus for, and then I would also have to add zinc processing as well to do specifically the coal gas from heavy oil recipe. So, tin. Mining tin requires steam. Alright, well this will be somewhat convenient. Please tell me there is coal out there. And there is coal right there. Well, we were running into a bit of an issue out here on this coal patch setup starting to run out. So I need a new big, preferably, coal. Here's some particularly dense coals, but yeah, so I think I'm going to end up tapping this one. I'll tap this one to use it up to go to the bus as the replacement for this, but I'm going to tap this. Hello, oil. I'll tap this to feed the steam for the tin, I think. Then there's this 5.7 up here. And raw coal rocks spread about. That is one thing I'm noticing a lack of. Where is a raw coal patch? Because raw coal is its own patch, and I think I may have discovered that that is the one thing on this map that is lacking. But I don't know if it's necessary along the all the pathways. Raw coal has its own, like, separate and unique processing chain of stuffs. I just am unsure if it's necessary. Does that say 65k plus a 930? That's 1 is 931. 1 is 931. That's 90. That would probably be 93.1 per second. Okay. That, I think I found a spot to get oil from. But yeah, it appears that I'll have to actually go hunting for the, raw coal when I need it. But I have plenty of regular coal. Plenty of regular coal. So, yeah, I'm not going to worry so much about the raw coal. As long as I have regular coal, I should be fine. Let's see. I have plenty of belt, plenty of resources. Get more offshore pumps. Maybe go. We'll see what I can do with this many. Let's think about future stuff. Plastic. Okay, so this patch... Oh. Just... No, this is not even remotely close to dense enough for my tastes. So that will be slight issue. It's a lot of belt to feed it back in to the bus. Let's see here. Oh, and I guess I should make, I'll need boilers. And since I'm out here anyway, and I know I'll need to bring even more water in, while I'm out here I could probably fix my issues on the glass production. Alright. So, let's see. I want... Dang it, I wanted 15. Oh well. It's not quite long enough to have just the nice and simple set of 15. So instead, it's going to be 10. And 5. Into a yellow belt. There is no mining time penalties here, so it should be 30 to fill yellow. At least that's my assumption. Offset of 1. Offset 1. I could do just the... So undoing this this way, but there is an alternative in that I could, like, use a bunch of undergrounds and stick the power poles here, and then I don't have this gap. But I only prefer doing that when I have medium power poles. That saves on the underground usage. Let's see, steam. Oh, I guess I also have oil sand here close by. But something tells me that's its own complex can of worms. So I have a couple of options on how I want to do things. I can... What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to pipe in steam directly. So I'll head to that coal. Now I'm leaving my car completely behind when I should be using it. So let's go grab the car and start actually using it. This would be quite dependent on the undergrounds, though. So the options that I have, well, either way, I have to get water to the boilers to make the steam. So if given the choice of having to belt coal to boilers while also needing to have water to boilers and steam out from boilers, it's like that doesn't quite make as much sense as having, heck, even direct mining into boilers on a coal patch. Which, yeah, this is not a very good zone. This is the volcanic biome, which has absolute tons and tons of rocks everywhere. So many rocks that it slows the game down, actually. At times, if I zoom out far enough in certain areas, I think I'll even get some lag because of it. Especially if I was trying to actually build my base in a volcanic biome in alien biomes with all of the rocks plus the relatively poorly optimized machines. It just causes so many hiccups. Okay, how many boilers did I make? No idea exactly how many I'm going to need, so I'm just going to place down like 3, I guess. Motto of Factorio, always double it. Always double it. Always, always, always double it. And then it's just boink, 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 boink. Direct feeding. So then it's simply a matter of feeding water in. Which... Let's make this at least somewhat organized. Keep all my water lines near each other. Now this will be a dedicated line, just for this purpose. Because the last thing I want is to overconsume on the water. Oh, and that's also quite convenient. Overconsume in the water and then not have enough to, continue. Blech. not have enough to continue mining to the not have enough to feed the boilers for the steam to mine the tin. If I were to share water with the sand setup for my glass. Now, before I do anything else, also, I'm not using my car for this just because volcanic zone, that seems like a very, very poor idea. I have a hard enough time with the rocks as it is. This is just Nightmare City for running into rocks. So let's get this steam all the way over. I think I have to go up a little bit. Yeah, I have stuff in my way. So let's think about this a little bit. The way I spaced my power poles is to give me the ability to do this. But I may do this here. Doink. Next is power. There needs to be power. I hope I have enough power poles. Yes, this is ugly, but at some point I'll be making large power poles and may or may not come out and replace them with the big power poles. My gosh, this is using just so many. I'm not going to... I might not have enough for, connecting the tin. Alright, so remember what I said about not driving in this biome while doing the pipes. See, I didn't even realize that that was a rock entity because of all the, like, terrain litter. Like, all these little things that aren't actually rocks, but just look like them. Really? Really, rock? Oh boy, I am out. I have no more. No more, no more, no more, no more. Let's hit the road. That was close. So, can I do this within 8? Absolutely, I can. Yeah, you wish the broken rock bits would clear away? Yeah, I do too. Some clears away if you put, if you, place stone bricks or buildings on top of it. If you, place things on top of it, some of it goes away, but there's never really a way to get rid of all of it, I don't think. Let's see. What should be the next, or what shall be the next attack? Is that? I guess I'll put that. Tholins sounds like a wonderful idea because you can do so many things with Tholins, and Tholins are what, free? It's just power into Tholins into basically whatever the heck you want. I mean, is it just me, or does this seem like it's incredibly powerful, if inefficient? It's like, oh, I can get literally things for free. I think the intention... Yeah, it's very power inefficient. Yeah, I would expect it to be very power inefficient and use lots of it. But I think that the intention is that it exists for times where you just don't have access to one of those resources. Or don't have easy access to one of those resources. So there's some tin ore. Now I have to go through the whole freaking process and all the buildings required. So tin, plate. So the recipe, oh god, I have access to all of the recipes now. All of them. The recipe I'm going to be doing is this one. Hot air plus grade 4 tin into 10 tin plates, because apparently at this current tech level, the green science tech, that is a more efficient process than doing the casting process. Unless it's changed since April 30th. So I have to get to grade 4. So I will need advanced foundries, I'll need some hot air. So grade 4 tin is made in washers, so I'm going to need washers. Let me start writing some of this down. Yeah, certainly an easier process, yes, because you get to ignore everything after grade 4 tin. It's because it's basically the same up until you hit grade 4, and then you just process the grade 4 with hot air. But the molten has the extra step of turning the grade 4 into powder and then into molten. So you have 2 steps versus 1 at that point. So this is washers, grade 3 tin is in an automated screener. I will take a look at the rejects. The rejects, this is in a secondary crusher. Crusher for rejects into G110. The G110 is also in a jaw crusher. So the G110 oh, there's grade 2. 1 grade 2. Alright, so I need another automated screener. So it's another automated screener process and a jaw crusher process. So grade 1 tin out of tin ore in an automated screener making grade 1 tin and grade 2 tin. The grade 2 tin can be converted into grade 1 tin and also gives stone. But only 50% of it goes into that. So basically 25% or 50% of 50% goes back in and becomes another grade 1 tin. And you get some stone out of it. And this requires all that stuff. And then also tin ore rejects can go back into grade 1 tin, which I think is another 25%. So about half in total gets back into grade 1. The grade 3 tin is made out of the grade 1s, and that gives the rejects. That's in an automated screener. Then grade 3 is directly into grade 4 in the washer. And grade 4 into tin plates with hot air. Now, if I were to do the molten would require then using a ball mill to go into tin dust, and then an electric arc furnace into molten using borax and graphite. And from molten into... So I guess it's 3 extra steps, actually. The powder, the molten, then the actual casting. So those are the machines. I need washers, automated screeners, secondary crushers, and jaw crushers to do this. The one rock? Really? That's always going to be the case. The one rock in a field of nothing, and I hit it. So, washers. Actually, I already have a couple of washers. Boy. Jaw crushers, I need to go grab more circuits, I think. Let's roll. I apparently have a fly to keep me company now. Head on back, get more underground pipes, because I need underground pipes, get more electric poles, and start making the machines I need to process this tin. So this isn't that awful of a process. It reminds me, it's fairly similar to the iron process. Just uses some different machines along the way. Actually, what I should say is it's similar to copper. I think it's more similar to the copper. What do I have in here? Some advanced foundries. That's good to know. I'm going to need those. Don't need the drills at the moment. Okay. I think the rest, there's stuff that's going to be here. Or here. Actually, let's see if I'm missing any... No, none of that. This is all petrochems. There's the secondary crusher, so I need to get more duralumin. And engine units, so I need to just grab engine units for these. Good thing I'm making lots of them. And I'll need duralumin. Which, unfortunately, I have to go all the way down to the end of my bus to really get any significant amounts of the duralumin. I'm also consuming a fair bit of it, so we shall see if I'm even backed up on it. This may be a limiting factor here. Oh god. Rocks. Rocks! Oh noes! Okay, so I'm backed up on the duralumin a fair amount. Let's see. So, I now have... I have washers. I need jaw crushers. Jaw crushers. I have jaw crushers. Washers, jaw crushers. Boundaries. Screeners. Screeners I'm making. And secondary crushers. Now, the secondary crusher is just for the rejects under the grade 1. Now, I wonder what the, So the next step is calculating the ratios. So I have a full yellow belt. Freaking fly. A full yellow belt. This all starts with automated screeners. So how many screeners do I need? Oh, looks like I'll be needing this for titanium as well. That is a different grade 1 up. Oh, this will be what I need to do processed iron into other thingies on the much more efficient iron recipe. The iron, doing this processing of the iron is apparently a 3 times boost in the efficiency. Like the green science recipes for that iron processing into the casting is like 3 times better than the previous molten iron casting recipe. I guess that's if you make use of all of the stuff, the products, process everything to get into the molten iron. Yeah. Like, huh. But do I need that right now? Not really. So, how many of these do I need to consume a full yellow belt? That is not nice. So I need 5. So I need 5 of those. And then the other one... So I need 5 for the G1s. And then it's... God, calculating out the... Yes, that's exactly what I was just about to say. I need to calculate out the stuff that has the percentage chances manually, because this is telling me that I'm always going to get a grade 2 when it's actually half that amount. It will vary because statistics, but I have to assume that this is going to be about half of that. So it's 3 over 2. So 1 and 2/3. 3 and a third. It's 1 and a third on that. Then it would be, I would need you placed, and I would need you placed, and I need you placed, and that should be it. So you are grade 1 from grade 2. You are going to be hot air from G4. You are going to be G4. So, math time. This makes grade 3s. This is 3.33, and then, well, I already established that this gives back in the end a quarter, even with this machine. And just one of these is able to I guess it really doesn't matter what I take absolutely next. Get off of me, fly. I have no idea what any of this is even used for, anyway. Cooling Tower 2, sure, why not? Let's just grab random stuff. I think it's going to be 1.66 minimum. So, wow, that's a lot of jaw crushers. Oh, boy. That's a long recipe. Is that true? It takes that many? The crafting speed. Yes, it is actually that many. Okay. Wait, what's the crafting speed on the jaw crusher? I don't see, oh, 0.5. 0.5. So that explains it. So it's 6 seconds in reality. So it's consuming 1 per 6 seconds, which is which is not 0.13. No, it's because it's 4 divided by 0.5, which is 8. Duh. So it's 1 per 8, which is 0.125. Oh god, symbols! Oh noes, symbols. So this says 0.13, but it's actually 0.125. gosh, so yeah, it's 14. 14 to completely clear out this, because that's actually half. And then this is actually half again. So 1.75 is really 0.875. So that gets added to 3.33. So it's about 4.2 in total. And then this, that's a little bit more than 3 here. Oh, and it seems I may have... And I also disconnected. Wonderful. Reconnecting. Reconnecting. Okay, I think it has reconnected. Maybe. It has returned. It has returned. Okay. Landfill. Sure. Whatever. So, it is like 4. But not quite. It's like just over 3 is what I need here. I would back up, otherwise it's like 0.2 per second off, so I would need 4 of these. So 5, 14, 4. And then how many? So that produces also... Oh, right. It will be 4, most likely. More likely than not, because the rejects... What was the thing for the rejects again? It was the secondary... Where's the secondary crusher? And this is another 50%, so 2.67 over 2, 1.335. And this is a 50% chance of giving you a grade 1. Oh boy, this gives you the grade 1, so back to the beginning. Now, that's a 0.25. To give you the grade 1. So instead of... So that means it's a 0.446 per second in the end. So yeah, that doesn't really change any of this, so it's still going to be 4 there. Just need the... Oh no, right. I need... Don't know why I'm doing that when I need... 3 of these. Don't know why so it's going to be 3 of these, and the 1.335 is divided by 2, so it's a 0.6. Alright, so plus 4.21. 4.88. 4.88. That's still within the realm of 4 of these. Now, I'm not producing at a full amount there, so This also won't produce out of amount, so that'll be fine. That'll be fine. 3 should work here. If it's really 2, that won't matter so much. But I'm just trying to get a semi-accurate amount of how much freaking throughput's being used out of this. Anyway, let's see, and then it's grade 3s to those. So if I'm looking at it won't be 2.67, it'll be probably closer to 2.3, so assume 2.333, this one. I'll assume it's about 7. That'll make 2.33 per second on those, which will need 6 advanced foundries. That'll end up producing 6 per second on the tin plates. So for 1 yellow belt in, it'll produce about a little less than 40% of a yellow belt out. And I think that's about in line with well, not quite in line with what I'm seeing here on the charts. It should be a 0.57 ratio. So my math is probably off somewhere. I would expect it to be anyway. But I'll go with these ratios, so it's like 7 washers, 6 foundries, 6 of those. It's 3 secondary crushers, and it's 5 on the G1s and 4 on the G3s, and the jaw crushers is 14 on the jaw crushers, but wow, that's... Then I need to do something to the stone. Then it's having to do something to the stone. I might void it. Now you may be wondering, well, how do you void stone? Well, you can void stone via converting it into tar. That is the precise way of voiding stone. Granted, you're voiding tar at that point, which you probably don't want to do. Why is this... Oh, because it's just all being burned. Oh, wow. Okay, I need, I think I need more burners. Here, grab some stone. Grab some stone, make some burners. Aw. Cat's having some troubles. He's having issues. Ooh, I'm out of... Now I hope 2 more will take care of this. Oh my. Maybe not. Copper processing. Yeah, sure. Please be enough. Probably will not be enough. Oh. I mean, that would probably explain a lot, actually. There's no way that this is actually ever going to produce at maximum capacity. Because I need more than a yellow belt out. More than one yellow belt out. I would need 2 belts, and I would need enough freaking burners to burn that much. I have 7 burners. Yeah, that can only... They're only burning less than half a yellow belt. It's like I need to triple at that point. But I am consuming the stone faster by doing that, so whenever I need to consume stone faster by doing that. And as you can tell... Oh, I went and I made a tar thing, and it's a totally a destructive distillation column that this process is done in. Really? Tar into oil, and then coal into tar. Hey, plastics. Yeah, tar from stone. Hey, it's phenol. Let's see. Pure wrist nitrogen. Okay. Oxygen, nitrogen, purist nitrogen. Alrighty then. So, I need to make a whole bunch of buildings, is what I have learned from all of this. Where is my car? I need to make a ton. I could make a lot out of it, yeah, but I need to make new things and figure out what I would use it for. All that tailings dust. Tailings dust is used in coal dust, rich dust, coal, bunch of stuff I can't make yet. Coal, tiles, blood, blue liquor, chromium, cobalt, alloy. So I'm guessing you're really talking about converting it into coal dust. Oh, hey, a little bit of ore. No. The rich dust one is nice, so... Let's see, coal dust into briquettes, syngas. That would be important. But I don't think I'm consuming that much syngas right now. And then titanium tetrachloride, which I know can be used in other things. I think that there's a plastic recipe for this. Yeah, with propene. Propene from syngas. Hey. So I can get syngas from coal dust. And I can get titanium tetrachloride from coal dust with chlorine. So you're telling me I can easily make plastic without oil? You need a huge you need a huge amount of titanium tetrachloride with oil processing sometime later. Yeah, but I can also use it for plastic without any oil. So, yeah, but now my only thing with the whole coal dust, and then there's rich dust, which is required for chromite sand only. Rich dust turns into iron oxide, guaranteed to iron oxide, and 10 chromite sand. Now, iron oxide goes into plates. Apparently, there's also the plastic recipe and tiles. Because, of course, there's tiles and a whole bunch of, like, advanced stuff. Even all this. Oh, hey, iron slime, too. So you can go into the advanced iron stuff with that. And then chromite sand, which you can just go straight into chromium. With coke and limestone and CO2 into chromium. Interesting. So that's a way of getting chromium without chromium ore. But, yeah, I think what would be... I think what I would do with it is I would do the, plastic. I would do plastic with it. That's what I would do. But again, right now, I'm in the process of improving what I have and not making new things. So I don't want to go out of my way to use some of these byproducts that I'm burning to make plastic when I am in dire need of a lot more stuff like tin. Like, I just need a lot more tin right now. Grab my car, please. So how many washers did I say I need? Because I can make washers. Washers, I need 7 total. I just hope that washers aren't needed to make some of these other things. Nope, tech happened. Electric engines, sure. Guess I didn't need 3, I needed 2, but whatever. Okay, so then I need lots of jaw crushers. I think I'm limited by my steel now, so I'll just head down to my buffers. Let's get to the buffers so I can start making all these machines that I'll need. I also need to grab electric poles. And inserters. Lots of inserters. Braking distance is not what I'm used to. Okay. Oh, right. This is going to need more duralumin, so do I really do this now? I hate to do 2 things simultaneously like this, but I may have to. Because I need more duralumin, and I'm not producing enough aluminium to make it. That's unfortunate. So, what can I do in the interim? Well, in the interim, grab power. Do I need anything from in here? Not particularly. So in the interim, I can go and start planning out the layout at the very least. If I'm going to be this limited by duralumin. Where is... automated screeners. Ooh, electric mining drills are needed here. Hey, good thing I've got some of those. Some of those. Then how many total automated screeners did I need again? 9. I've got 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And secondary crushers was 3. You are limited by duralumin. Nah, it looks like I have 4, so that's fine. I have enough secondaries. I have enough washers. I think, yes. Yes, I have 1 extra washer. I have enough foundries, so it's just jaw crushers. That's it. So yeah, I can go out and I can start doing things, stuff and things. Although technically, I would also need burners. So grab this, grab stone. Oddly enough, it looks like I am converting all of my stone into tar. So at least I don't have to worry about that being limited anytime soon. You can void it washer through to saline. Oh, well that is also convenient, yes. And I have an extra washer. I don't know if just 1 washer would be enough, though. Let's have a look at the, yeah, that recipe. That's 3.33 per second. And the results of 14 jaw crushers into G1 is 1.75. Yeah, so that's fine. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough to take care of it, and I would only need 1 sinkhole. Yeah, that's better. Thank you for letting me know. Although, I might not need to void the stone. But no matter. Heading on back. Actually, not heading on back. I will take a detour to grab all of those. Hello tech, grab robotics. bottlenecks. Taking a detour to grab all of this duralumin in particular. Alright, jaw crushers. Ooh, engine units, right. Oddly enough, once I do have a sufficient amount of tin coming in, the next bottleneck on my green science production will be duralumin. Which is why the next thing on the agenda, after fully securing the tin plate production, will be securing the aluminium production and duralumin. So, it will be molten aluminium, then molten copper, and then straight up duralumin from molten aluminium and copper. So coming back here to grab some engine units that I have right here. Engine units into jaw crushers. Yes, it will take a while. I'm expecting it to take a while. Oh, right, small parts, not so much these per se. These. Oh, hey, guess what? That's 14 jaw crushers. So I now have everything I need. Then, of course, for each yellow belt additional of ore for tin that I make, it's twice the number of machines. Ah, boy. Alternatively, it's if I increase the belt to reds and the Mark II machines are put down, it should theoretically be the same. But double the mining drills. Theoretically, I mean, the differences in crafting speed will likely have a lot more of an impact. Ooh, let's see how much we can do in 22 minutes. Of course I have to hit the rocks. Of course I have to hit the rocks. All of the rocks on the way. Okay, step 1 is automated screeners. Automated screeners. 5 of them. Now, how do I want to orient this? And where do I want to orient this? I want to do this... Tell you what, I'm not going to do this down. I'm going to do this up and above. Just to give myself all of the room that I need. Okay. Automated screeners. 5. Oh, and then in actuality, grade 1 tin from tin. A, can I make filter inserters? B, do I really want to use them? Not really, but... Oh, and then how much... I guess one output inserter will be fine. Oh, but it's all going to be on one side of the belt, but meh. Then I'll probably do the jaw crusher line next. Jaw crusher line converting grade 2 to grade 1. And then it's the singular washer into saline into pit of despair. Now 14 of these is still not even remotely a concern. This will have stone, bright. This will actually come up here and it'll merge into whatever thing I have here, so this will be whatever, grade 2 tin outright. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that this is correct thus far. This will be... So the grade 1 tin will come up here, it'll meet up with these guys, and keep on going. I might want to do a little belt balance even. So now we're only dealing with grade 1s, and all of the byproducts are dead. Next is automated screeners again. Or I should say the remaining automated screeners. These will be for making grade 3s from grade 1s. Now the interesting thing here is that I will need to have stuff coming back in so the output here splits off because there will be rejects. Are the rejects here? Yes. Tin rejects. I think it's tin ore rejects. Will go out. They will be secondary crushed. Yes. Secondary crush. 1, 2, 3. Tin ore rejects into G1 tin. Only does G1 tin. These will output here and down. Oh, I am forgetting something rather important, actually. I am forgetting about needing a regenerative heat exchanger to make the hot air furnace, or to make hot air. Alternatively, I can use a whole bunch of pipes to get hot air in here, but it's more efficient to make it locally. So glad that splitters can do the filtering and priority stuff when building these. Yes, absolutely. The filter splitters are very, very nice. But you know what? I don't actually know what life was like before the filter splitters, because I bought this game at 0.17. I think I played a little bit on the stable version 0.16, but very quickly transitioned to 0.17 after buying the game. That said, I have how many hours in here? 700. I have 714 hours. You can't see the Steam overlay, but there's 714 hours total. 73 in the past 2 weeks. Okay, that just leaves. So that brings the. That just means I now have all the grade 3s. Now it's grade 3 into grade 4 in washers. Yes? No, not there. There. Grade 4 tin. .33. I'm just, I'm curious about something here. Now, so that's 2 point. It's 0.4. Oh, that's missing a bit of a trick here. That's so unfortunate, because if this was 0.33, it would be a 1-to-1. And you can just do, like, direct insertion at that point. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Regardless, let's output up over split up over whatever. I don't think that's the right spacing. That's definitely not the right spacing. 1, 2, 3. That'll be the plates out. There's going to need to be... jumps. I don't have enough pipe. Oh noes. Pipes. Give me pipes. There we go. You think that Pyanodon did the ratios at random? Well, I think there was at least some logic behind it, but you never know. Some things might have just been like, hey, let's pick this number. Now that all should be fine. It just needs power inserters and, you know, stuff. Power inserters, water, all that BS. But, you know, I think that's probably going to be where I leave it for the day. Yeah, that's probably gonna be right about where I leave it. I could just start doing inserters. Let's just start doing inserters while I sort of review what got done today. So what has gotten done today? That's a good question, actually. Tar got done today. Additional tar. Sufficient amounts of tar. Making even more sufficient amounts of coal gas. So I am extremely limited by my water inputs now. I think it was a combination. I was limited by inserters and water. That's what I think a lot of the problem was. It was inserters, not enough inserters getting soil into the washers to make the sand, and also not enough water to feed all of it. And there's still not enough water to feed all of it. But I am getting significantly more glass than I was before, feeding into my science production. My science production is now limited by tin, which I am currently working on. I am currently working on the tin. So after doing a whole bunch of stuff in the first half to sort of fix things and improve coal gas, added extra gas vents here. Let's see, was there anything major done in this direction? Not particularly. Not particularly much else, so I've figured out how many of each of these buildings I want sort of set up additional tin out here. And that just about covers it, really. Now I'm just building out this tin, and then once all of this is done and ready to go, and all the byproducts are taken care of, dealt with, it will be time to move on to aluminium. It's just so unfortunate that I wasn't really able to get through absolutely everything here today. But, progress has been made regardless. I feel like progress has continued. Oh, I made a mistake. Bleh. Whatever. I'll leave it. Get all these belts in at the very least, so I don't have that or as much to do next time to get all of this, you know, moving. This still needs the hot air. It needs hot air, it needs water, so there's still like a bunch of time that this is going to take. I do hope single inserters are going to be enough for this. Then it's going to have to be on the outside here for all of these, and I'm going to need more sinkholes when I attach the tailings. I have to go back to get more pipes. And that, as they say, is that on the inserter front. So, I know it's a few minutes early, but I didn't take a break today, so I'm just going to end it off here. With that, to thank you all for watching, this has been Otaku Showboat. I will be back on Sunday with more of the Pyanodon's playthrough. I will be back tomorrow, Friday, with additional Angel's Bob Space Extension. Hope to see you then. Again, thank you all for watching. See you on the next one.